Welcome back, travelers. And as you can see, this is the first episode that will go over the results of the color test. If you are blue-black and or black-blue, then this is the particular episode dedicated to you. That was the most common result from the color test, blue-black, which may or may not be due in part to the fact that they are the spy and may have messed with my results a bit. What's important to note is that I intend to be going through the entirety of the results. There are over 40 possible results, and I intend to do each of them depending on what people get. If no one ever gets one, I might not do it. But there are plenty of different ones so far. There's at least 10 results already on the test while I'm doing this, so there's plenty to look forward to. Today's blue-black, the spy, and black-blue, the mastermind. Now, to start it off, the first thing to do when trying to figure out something about these color combinations is look at where they land on the color wheel. Now, as you can see, you got blue and black right next to each other, and right across from them is green. So, blue-black is basically anti-green. Blue-black sees green as passive, too relaxed, resistant to change. It just wants things to stay the way they are, because the way things are is nice and cool and just comfortable. Peace, all that stuff. Blue-black doesn't want that. Blue-black wants change. Blue-black wants to make sure that what is happening is in its best interest and is making sure that things go the way it plans them to. Planning. That's a huge keyword for blue-black. Since it takes a lot to say blue-black over and over again, I'm just going to say Dimir. Same amount of syllables, but it just feels smoother. So a Dimir individual wants to be in control of their destiny. The exact opposite of green. So basically what ends up happening is that they will do whatever it takes to attain perfection. While the two colors agree on perfection through subtlety, they do differ on what the actual end goal is. Now, looking at the other side of the color wheel, as you can see, you got blue-black, and then green's across from it, but on its sides are red and white. White and red are the allies of the respective colors, but the enemies of their partner. What this means is that the conflict comes specifically from the difference between red and white. The point of differentiating between blue-black, the spy, and black-blue, the mastermind, is simply so that you know which particular facet of that color combination is more important. Which side is dominant, the blue side or the black side? If it's the blue part, it's focused more on the process. How are we going to get to this point of perfection of this particular thing? When it lets the black handle the shady dealings that are necessary, it's just so that blue can make sure it gets where it's going. It has a vision, an idea of perfection. When black is at the helm of the Dimir combination, then it's more focused on the self. I need to make sure that I get the best things I can get. And the best way to do that is with information. Controlling things, making sure that everything goes according to my plan. It's more focused on getting the results. So you can look at it as blue being process, black being results. So if you look at the process side of things, it's all about solving a puzzle or solving a problem, finding where the pieces fit together and then mixing them up until they make something greater than what they were before. It doesn't have to do with anyone else's interests. It doesn't have to do with their emotions or how they feel about things. It's just an objective. This is the right way to do things. In Black's case, it's more about recognition or superiority, being the best out of the best. I have all the knowledge. I have all the puzzle pieces. I have all the chess pieces. I'm both the black and the white part of the chessboard. I have complete control, and you just happen to be playing on the other side of it for me. It wants people to recognize I am the cool guy. I am the top one. I am the one who wins. Blue is focused on improving the system and themselves along with it, while black is focused on gaming the system and maybe improving it along the way by finding its flaws. The greatest strength to the Dimir is that they are a shadow. Not that they're not interesting or that they just choose not to draw attention to themselves. It's easier that way to figure out what's going on all around you. It's better to send other people to get noticed And then they're like, oh, that guy just did something messed up. You should go look into that. While they watch and find out everything else that goes around. They're the mastermind when they're black-blue, and the spy when they're blue-black. It's in the idea. Either you are super hard to pin down, or you're just so high up on the food chain that nobody knows you're even messing with things. Dimir's main problem is trust issues. They can't take a source telling them straight on what something is because that person could be lying to them. Because if they were that person, they'd be lying. So they find it a lot easier just to stick to facts. Making friends is kind of dangerous because they could stab you in the back at any moment. So it's best to have a puppet. Know all their weaknesses while revealing none of your own. That can make it really hard when somebody genuinely wants to be their friend to actually connect with them and make an ally. One of my favorite parts about the color test and color theory in general is that you can color code anything. You can color code government systems, people, obviously, places, even characters, especially characters from different forms of media. So for the last part of this video, my intent is to show you both the good side and the bad side of the color combination I'm talking about. What I mean by that is I am going to talk about a hero who happens to be the spy and possibly the mastermind in some cases, depending on which iteration of the character you're looking at. Sherlock Holmes. Not Iron Man, not the Iron Man Sherlock Holmes. The Doctor Strange Sherlock Holmes. The Sherlock Holmes from the BBC is a character focused on solving puzzles and proving his superiority. Literally two of the main things I mentioned. He has trouble with human connections, as you can see with Molly. He puts all these things in their own boxes in his mind palace. He has everything laid out perfectly. A person walks in, he's able to scan everything on them, and he knows every bit of information necessary without giving any of his own away. Now, when that information happens to be somebody's body measurements, he has some trouble because he wasn't looking for that. He was looking for useful information off of somebody. He describes himself as a high-functioning sociopath, which, according to the way he's written, isn't necessarily accurate. But most people that have sociopathic traits tend to score with black in their color identity. So that's another point there. And of course, he's the smartest person in the room. There's maximum blue there. So that's an example of someone who uses their blue-black abilities to solve problems that just happen to be helping people. There are instances of Sherlock putting things and people in excessive danger or under great stress just because he's trying to outsmart somebody else, completely disregarding how others feel. One of the best examples of a blue-black villain I could find, which was actually surprisingly hard, was the Borg. Most villains tend to have more either just being really dumb about the way they handle things or being too passionate about their goals, meaning that they usually lack blue or add on red. In this particular case, the Borg is the perfect blue-black villain. The Borg from Star Trek are basically these beings that want to take the best parts of everything else and everyone else and integrate them into their world. Now, you may hear that and think that's pretty green-white because they're just trying to take things. The thing is, they don't actually let you keep your free will in any way. They have their queen, who basically is the only individual in the race, and everyone else is a drone or a zombie even. And her entire idea is that take all these things until we are the perfect race and are better than all the other ones that we then absorb back into ourselves to make it so that everyone is perfect. That is pretty much super even blue-black because it's all about perfection. But it's basically just her. And the Borg that are able to break free show a lot of free will and emotion, which is the only way they're able to break out of that particular hold with Seven of Nine and Jean-Luc Picard. Overall, these two different characters, Sherlock and the Borg, both happen to be the exact same color, just different sides of the spectrum. It's been a ton of fun making this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I intend to do basically all the other color combinations. Whichever the one that's coming out next is going to be December, and that's dependent entirely on what you guys decide it's going to be, whether that's through the most common test results or through your comments down below. I'll definitely be looking at all of them, and if you guys have anything to add to the conversation, maybe you have a different idea of what blue-black is, or you would like to add on to it, then I would be happy to see that. Mention that. Definitely pin it and put it on top of the comment list for everyone else to see. Share this with your friends because maybe they're blue-black and don't even know it. And definitely share the test with other people so that we can get more results. The more results, the better, the bigger. It's going to be fantastic. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, travel well. Where did I put that book? Ah.